Speaking of a furious basement-dwelling Trump, this is fascinating and hilarious. Donald Trump has been completely embarrassed by world leaders, including the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who turned down Trump's invitation to come to the U.S. for the G7 summit at the White House. So understand the backstory. For a few weeks now, the White House has continued to talk about, we want to do the G7. We might do it at Camp David. We might do it at the White House. Coronavirus, no, I think we're going to be able to do it. It's going to be really, really great. And reporters smartly were asking, should you be doing this given the pandemic? But also, which world leaders have accepted your invitation so far? And they didn't say, but they just kept insisting. Trump did, and Kayleigh McEnany. World leaders are reacting very favorably. We're going to have news about this soon. Yada, yada, yada. Hopefully it'll happen at the end of June. Everything's going to be fine. We suspected this was BS. Most world leaders, clearly, from what they say, understand this is not the time to be traveling all over the world, possibly spreading coronavirus, to come and give Trump his photo op at the White House or Camp David. And one of the first to turn down the invitation over the weekend was German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who essentially said no thanks. She said, I'm not going. It's too early to reopen. We shouldn't be having large gatherings. The virus is very much circulating. And Trump reportedly furious at Angela Merkel. And then Trump does this thing that, it's not surprising, but it's so pathetic. Trump decides to pretend it was really his decision not to do the G7 and that the countries that are currently in it aren't really the right ones, calls it an outdated group. And according to press pool reports, Donald Trump said, I'm postponing it because I don't feel as a G7, it probably represents what's going on in the world. It's a very outdated group. Trump mentioning that he wants to add Russia and some other countries to the group. So this is an obvious lie. Trump is postponing it because nobody's coming. They've turned down the invitation, at least Angela Merkel has. World leaders said no, and now Trump is pretending he didn't want it to happen with this group anyway. And the entire, adding Russia thing and the group being outdated. This is how Trump attacks people that don't want to say yes to him, quite simply. It's just everything is a childish temper tantrum. Now, just imagine what Trump will do if he loses in November. It will be like nothing we have seen before from any president. One other sort of interesting thing about the whole G7 fiasco, this is why diplomats exist. In a normal administration, you don't have Trump for a month saying, we're going to push for G7 and the leaders are reacting very positively, very strong positive reactions. In a normal situation, diplomats figure all of this out. You don't put Trump out there on a limb saying we're doing the G7 and we're doing it here, even though they're not actually yet scheduled to do it. Then you end up with world leaders saying no thanks, and Trump tries to save face by saying, well, I want better countries in it anyway. In a normal administration, diplomats handle this. There will be one statement about it, and it is either we have decided to postpone the G7 due to coronavirus fears, or we are confirmed having the G7 on such and such date. You avoid all of these embarrassing fiascos in the first place. This is all self-harm done by Donald Trump. And the degree to which he is being shunned by world leaders is really representative of just a slide down the totem pole, so to speak, for the U.S. presidency globally. It's embarrassing to Americans. It needs to change. And just imagine this is what Trump is doing over Angela Merkel saying no thanks. Just imagine what he will do if he is indeed defeated in November. Privacy.com is one of our sponsors, and they're giving you $5 just for using their free service at privacy.com/Pakman. Privacy is a service I've been using for a while now. I love it. It saves me a bunch of headaches. It's completely free, and it's very quick to set up. And here's how it works. When you pay for something online or over the phone, instead of exposing your real credit card number, Privacy lets you generate virtual card numbers. The payments are withdrawn from your checking account, but your real card number stays completely private, and you do it all with one click. You can autofill the card number in your web browser, on the phone. You can create 12 virtual cards a month. You can set spending limits, freeze them, delete them whenever you want. I especially love it for free trials where you need to give a credit card number, because I can destroy the virtual card number as soon as I give it to the company, and I know I won't be charged in the future. If you're ordering food over the phone, why do I need to give a restaurant my real card number if I don't have to? Companies don't have to know who you are. Your real credit card number is protected from the data breaches that happen, unfortunately, more often than we would like, and it's completely free. They do have a paid version with different tiers where you can create more virtual credit card numbers per month, cashback rewards, extra security features. But go ahead and sign up for the free service. It's a no-brainer. Companies can't charge you unexpectedly. You're protected from identity theft. It costs you nothing. And Privacy is giving you $5 to spend just for signing up when you go to privacy.com/Pakman.